It's a beautiful day to you, our lovely and smart real estate investors, both at home and also in diaspora. I'm super delighted to welcome you to another exciting episode of Property Matters here on YouTube. In case you're coming across this channel for the first time, this is where we discuss everything you need to know about real estate investment for buying, you're selling, you want to go into full-time real estate investment, you want to know more about land banking, land documentation, land verification, tips and guides that will help you make a profitable and of course a rewarding real estate transaction have been totally discussed on this channel. So in case you're coming across the channel for the first time, do well to subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell so that when we drop a video, you will be the very first to see. On today's episode of Property Matters, I'm going to be talking about something very interesting. Of course, you know that we don't always give less. So do well to subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell so that when I drop a video, you'll be the very first to see it. We've done an exciting episode on land matters documentation, how to identify a manipulative real estate developer, how to identify a fraudulent real estate transaction. We've talked about tips, guides, and all those things will help you to understand the way the Nigerian real estate market works. I'll be back immediately after this short commercial. All right, you're welcome back. I'm super delighted to be on your screen today. I want to appreciate everybody who have sent messages, everybody who have patronized us, everybody who we have helped in one or two ways, whether we're helping you to fix the title of your document or whether you were helping you to address one issues or the other. We want to appreciate you. Thank you for having trust in us. Thank you for having faith in us. Thank you for patronizing us, and we promise to keep giving you the best, the very best. So today's topic is actually inspired by the real estate investor I spoke with 2 days ago. According to this man, he has a lot of investors abroad, and what they did basically, I think, a few years ago, was that they came together and they decided to go into all these cooperative savings, and they used the proceeds from that saving to buy bulk of land from onile. According to this wonderful investor, they bought that property for less than 15 years. Of course, they told me where the particular location is, but from all indications, I really don't think that property may still be available because they've bought properties, they've left it for 15 years without doing anything. Of course, you know the way it works. So in the very first thing that I actually want to talk today about is 4 things onile would demand from you if you buy property from them. I've had other real estate investors come to my DM. A lot of people have asked questions. Since you've said real estate developers have done this, real estate developers have done this, since they are not trustworthy, can we go ahead to buy properties directly from onile ourselves? Can we just ditch these real estate companies? Can we ditch this real estate developer? Can we just go ahead and handle the process of purchase all by ourselves? Well, the very first clarification I want to make basically is that I am not discouraging you people to buy from not to buy from real estate developers. No, I have never in any way asked you people not to buy. What I have emphasized over time is the safety of your investment. If you have been following Property Matters on YouTube, you will understand very well that we have always been emphasizing on the safety of your investment. We've talked about how to invest, where to invest, criteria of what you should put into consideration, where you should pitch your investment. We've done an elaborate studies on different manipulation, different gimmicks that you can unravel before going into real estate transaction. So I've never or in any occasion advised people not to buy from developers. I've never said you should not buy from developer. I only said that you should be careful. You should watch out for some things before you go into any form of real estate transaction with any real estate developers. And for several of us that have totally understood this, that's why I want to quickly do this topic so that I can share more light. I, as an individual, all the properties I have bought in Lagos, Nigeria, I have not bought from families, despite the fact that I have links, I have connections, I know some of those, those elderly kingsmen in Epe and other parts of Lagos. I have never, in any single occasion, go ahead to buy from families. And of course, I have my reasons. I won't want to go into that. And I am not saying that you should not buy from let's say developer. All I'm saying basically is that you should help us scrutinize whoever you're buying from. You should get us involved in every details of the transaction. You should enable us to do our due diligence, give you a comprehensive report before you go ahead with the purchase. So let me quickly make this stance. Let me quickly make this clarification. I'm not saying you should not buy from real estate developer. I've never, for any occasion, advised people to buy from onile. I've never done that, and I don't think I want to do that. Now, the reason why I will obviously discourage you buying from onile basically is that we have been on the field. We've been on this industry for the past 8 years. This year will make it our ninth year. We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of crisis, a lot of things that have happened. And of course, we don't want any of you, our smart, lovely, beautiful, and of course, intelligent real estate investors to fall into these gimmicks. Now, the reason basically is that when you look at one of our episodes, of course, I'll drop the link of that episode. Why Omonile Wahala? We're talking about land issues, Omonile Wahalas. We've seen instances whereby a whole lot of things happened, and of course, we've seen instances whereby a land matters, a land crisis have lingered for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So this is why we are going to, be talking about it today. We're going to be talking about 4 important things Omonile will demand from you if you buy from them. So today's topic is going to be 4 important things Omonile will demand from you if you choose to buy from them. So just to relax, get yourself a cold bottle of wine or a warm cup of coffee, relax, and I'll be back to share more light on this. Stay tuned. All right, you're welcome back. I'm super delighted to be here, to be on your screen on today's episode. So I said I'll be talking about 4 important things that Omonile would demand from you after you have paid for the land. I've seen instances whereby people go into, real estate transactions with Omonile without understanding the fundamental requirements. So let's say, for instance, you want to do, or you're perhaps anticipating buying land directly from family owners. The very first thing I want you to understand basically is that the possibility that the land you wanted to buy has been sold to someone is very high. The possibility that the land doesn't have a good title document is high, and the possibility that that land may have different litigations is also high. So apart from the fact, before I start mentioning the four things they will demand from you, I want you to understand basically that buying land from a reputable real estate company obviously is the best, because these real estate companies will factor out all these things. They will find a way to deal with it, and if they peradventure, if there are other issues that may arise in the future, the real estate company will be in a better position to fight it, and this will obviously not affect you, because the most important thing is that you have fulfilled every requirement the real estate company demanded from you. You've paid them, you've gotten all your documents, so they will be the one to face all these issues from families, while you will obviously be at rest. However, this will only be done if you are bought from a reputable real estate company. Not all real estate companies have the capacity to do so. So this is one of the things I need you to understand. So the very first money you will pay whenever you want to do a real estate transaction with family is what they call owo ijoko. I'm going to say it in Yoruba language, and of course, in due time, I am also going to interpret in English. Owo ijoko is like a money you pay for having the elder statesmen in that family to sit down to discuss, and of course discuss that present real estate process of sales. So you just don't bring elderly statesmen to have meetings with you. You bring them, then after having meetings with you, you will pay a money. Well, it differs. It differs from community to communities. Okay, there are some community in Ibeju Lekki that their Owochoko is between 50 to 100,000. There are some community maybe somewhere around that Ijebu axis. If you can give them 20 to 30k, they're okay. Of course, if you are doing it in other parts of the island, you're looking at 300, 400, 500,000. So this is the money, and Owoijoko is mostly paid before the transaction is done. So there have been instances whereby after paying, and maybe the terms and of all the conditions of the sales does not favor you, that money is non-refundable. So Owoijoko is one of the requirements that Omonile would demand from you whenever you want to buy properties from them. The second one that they will also demand from you is what they call Owo Youth. That is money that will be paid into the youth's account. Okay, most times this money is demanded after you've purchased the property. Perhaps you want to do maybe signage or something to indicate that the property you bought, belongs to you, and you want to do something like an indicator that will make it obvious. Then before you can do anything on your land, despite the fact that you have paid the family, you have paid the family lawyer, and you have paid every other person that is needed in the family, you are still going to pay the youth, because if you don't pay them, they won't allow you to do anything on your property, despite the fact that you have paid. You still have to pay them. You have to pay the youth. Like I said, it differs from location to location. Some locations is 150,000. Some location is 500,000. Some location is 1 million. So these are some of the money you will pay after you have purchased. This is after you have paid all the necessary fees and documents from for the family. Okay, you have paid the family and every other persons that are concerned. You are still going to pay what we call Owo Youth. Then the next thing you are also going to pay after you have done every other thing is that you're also going to pay for deed. They call it Owo deed. Everything in real estate transaction is always Owo. That is money for the deed of assignment. Then after you guys have done all the transaction, you have paid the family, you have done every other thing, your lawyer and their lawyers have prepared a deed of assignment. Some family will demand money before they sign it. A real estate transaction is not done until that deed transferring the interest or the legal interest of that property to your name. So some family will demand for payment just for them to sign the deed of assignment. So these are some of the things you need to put into consideration. Peradventure, you are considering buying a property directly from Omonile. That is not all. You're also going to pay what we call Owo Foundation. you know yes, many people are not aware. Most of the intention or most of the knowledge most people have basically is that after I've paid for the property, I can start to work. Who says that the moment you want to start work on your piece of land, apart from the fact that you have paid owo joko, you have paid owo youth, you have paid any other money like owo whatever owo did. Now, before you start work on that property, whether it is fence you want to start or whether it is foundation you want to start, you are still going to pay them again. And failure to pay them, they will disturb your people from working on the site. So you are going to pay over foundation, which is 100% compulsory. So these are some of the things you will encounter if you choose to buy landed property from family. The next money you will pay, basically, let's say for instance, you are done with the foundation, you have erected it. When it is time to roof, you're also going to pay another money, which is over roofing. That is money for roofing. So you're still going to pay the family, you're still going to pay the community what we called over roofing. So if you don't, they won't allow you to roof. So these are some of the the terms and conditions you need to thoroughly understand whenever you want to go into any form of real estate transaction. More importantly, with Omonile. See, it is not always as sweet or as smooth as many people have painted it for you to be. A lot of people go into this transaction without understanding that all these levies are compulsory. If you don't pay them, they won't allow you to have smooth running on your property. So, in case you are thinking that real estate companies are charging too much, they are asking for this, and you want to go into foundation, and you want to go directly, in conversing with families and buying directly from them, just have it in mind that all these levies are what you're going to pay. So, what real estate companies have done basically is that some real estate companies are taking this problem off your neck, okay, and they have made it, easier. They have faced all these things, they have paid all these fees just for you to buy and start building. However, not all real estate companies have adequately tackled this. There was a scenario I had last year around October when we wanted to do some work on some of the property we bought from a real estate company, and the guys in the community they came, and of course because of the fact I understood their operations, I understood, so we had to just cough out money. And when we're calling this particular developer, the developer was telling us he's done with the transaction, he has paid. Was in a transaction we did in 2018, and we're still calling him now. Do we expect him to still be following that kind of thing? So these are some of the things. I was shocked when I got that kind of response from him. I was very, very, discouraged, and I was not happy. But good for us, we're able to, sort it out. We're able to pay some of this family, and of course, we're having smooth running on. And of course, I told my client that, see, when it's time for roofing, we have to pay. So not all real estate companies are guilty of this. There are some companies I know very well that they will fight for you. You will have smooth running. No omonile will disturb you. So when some of them say this land is totally free from omonile wahala, please note that only few of them can ensure that that same land they told you are free from omonile wahala. In some cases, after they've sold to you, they've moved on. So you have to be careful. And of course, you can help us. Of course, we can help you, point you to the right real estate company you should buy from, and the kind of title document you can demand for. So this is where we're going to draw the curtain of today's wonderful and of course insightful episode of Property Matters. Hope you found value, and we hope to see you again in our next video. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much for following us. Thank you for those nice comments, and we'll see you in our next video. Have a nice day.